Some cruise line executives are starting to warn that many of the COVID protocols in place today on ships may be here to stay. Royal Caribbean is taking note that some of their passengers are still struggling to get their pre-cruise COVID tests completed in time. They're going to make some changes to kind of help alleviate a little bit of the pressure. There's a new cruise ship modeled after Carnival Mardi Gras with an astounding new feature that we need to talk about. Major cruise line CEOs are gathered right now in Miami, Florida to talk about the state of the cruise industry. We'll give you a little peek behind the curtain. Plus, I just finished taking my at-home COVID test. What do you think the results could be? All this coming up on Midships. Hey, welcome to the Midships YouTube channel. I'm your Captain Corey, so glad you stopped by today. We've got some big updates to deliver to you today, but first I want to remind you it's the last day to get entered for our cruise swag giveaway. This week's giveaway includes the 2-pack of Cruise On cruise lanyards with these nice little retractable gizmos that help make it a lot easier to hand your card out when you're on the ship. In addition to the cruise lanyards, we're also giving away the ever popular passport and COVID card holder. This thing is fantastic, totally rugged and great for protecting all your valuable information when you're traveling. All of these items come in multiple colors, and if you're interested to see what colors they're available in, there are Amazon affiliate links in the description below. Even just clicking on the link does help support the channel. So let's hop right into some topical news here for the channel. As most of you know by now, I'm scheduled to cruise this Thursday aboard MSC Divina, and that means today is the day that I had to take my COVID test. And to accomplish this, since CVS canceled on me, I opted to use one of the Abbott BinaxNOW home test kits, and here it is. Now, I recorded the whole process for you guys so you could see from start to finish exactly how it was. I'm not going to lie to you, I hit a few speed bumps, not only with technology, but also with maybe a little bit of a language barrier with one of the agents helping me administer the test. But all is well. I received my results, and the results are I am COVID negative. That's right. I am all set to cruise aboard MSC Divina in just 2 more days. And that's not the only good news today for the Midships channel. If you remember, on Saturday, I introduced to you a very cute little black and white tuxedo cat, and I challenged you guys that if that video received 500 likes, that little kitty cat would receive a brand new toy. And Claire is happy to report that video has now received 625 likes. Now let's go ahead and hop right into our thumbnail story for today, because that's probably what's on most of your minds. I know there's a lot of hesitation to book cruises right now because people just quite simply don't want to be there wearing a mask. That's just not their idea of a great vacation, and there's plenty of people out there who've chosen to or just simply can't get vaccinated, so cruising just isn't an option for them. So let's talk about what protocols may be here to stay aboard cruise ships and whether or not masking and vaccination requirements are going to be some of those things. From thepointsguy.co.uk by Ashley Kosiolek. Some COVID protocols on ships could be here to stay, says cruise line executives. Many of the COVID protocols now in place aboard cruise ships could be permanent, according to cruise line executives who spoke Monday at the Sea Trade Cruise Global, the cruise industry's annual conference. Gina Dennett, Director of Land Program Development for Azamara Cruises, says yes, a lot of these protocols are here to stay. I think people will just become accustomed to them. This means precautions like extensive cleaning, air filtration, hand washing, and sanitizing could continue to be enforced long after we stop seeing spikes in viral infections. But a lot of those things have already been in place for years, as one panel member pointed out. However, if you're anything like me, you're probably wondering about the more restrictive feeling protocols, specifically the masking requirements that are currently in place. Let's go ahead and see what the cruise line executives have to say about that. Masks may be one of the first things you see to go, Dennett said. She was one of the executives from Azamara who we quoted earlier. She also says, I do think that physical distancing will see become a narrower distance, but none of us have a crystal ball. The industry has already seen relaxed social distancing on some ships, even in indoor areas, and mask rules have fluctuated line by line. Some lines have also begun to phase out capacity restrictions on their ships. So in addition to masking and social distancing policies, I think the other big one that comes to mind for most people is what about the vaccination requirement to get on these cruises? And that's something that's honestly going to be a little bit more murky and gray area. I'm not sure if you recall back this far, but most of the cruise lines weren't mandating vaccines until the Bahamas came out and said, well, you're not able to come to our ports unless everyone aboard is vaccinated. And so this is honestly probably going to be the most most murky requirement that we just don't know when that may go away. It's going to be highly dependent on the port of call stops for these cruise lines. So proof of vaccination was not discussed, but panelists said that one of the biggest issues they've had to deal with is monitoring how best to keep passengers safe. So I'd love to hear what you think might happen to cruise line protocols moving forward into 2022 and 2023. Why don't you do me a favor and comment down below what you think are the right protocols for cruises going forward. And while you're down there, why don't you smack that thumbs up button? It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps out our channel by telling YouTube that this is content that you think other cruisers definitely need to see and hear. Royal Caribbean is finally stepping up to help cruisers who are struggling to get their pre-cruise COVID testing completed in time. I know results can be a little bit slow, and quite frankly, it's a ton of faith to put into some random company or random person to get your results returned in time. I know most of these tests, they tell you it could take 3 or 4 days to get results, and you just don't have that kind of time right now. So let's go ahead and see how Royal Caribbean is going to help cruisers moving forward. From cruisecritic.com by author Fran Golden. Royal Caribbean to offer limited pre-cruise terminal-based COVID-19 testing. Royal Caribbean has introduced on a very limited basis the option of pre-cruise testing for COVID at some terminals. The boarding day test program the cruise line made clear is a last resort only for vaccinated guests who have had trouble securing the required testing prior to their sailing. Royal Caribbean advised guests against using the option unless you simply cannot find a pre-cruise test or could not receive results in time. So quite honestly, a program like that would have been awesome for someone in my situation if I didn't have these at-home test kits as a backup to my CVS test, which was abruptly canceled without notice about 2 days before it was scheduled. Royal's testing move follows that of Carnival Cruise Line, who also attempted its own version of terminal-based testing, but ultimately canceled the program, saying the logistics made the operation too complex. Royal's terminal testing does have some downside, as the cruise line notes. You need to secure a reservation 24 hours in advance and schedule your test for 30 minutes before your boarding time. After your test, you should expect to wait outside the terminal for up to an hour while processing. If you are found positive for COVID-19, you will obviously not be allowed to board the ship. For this reason, the cruise line would recommend against this type of testing for air travelers because they could end up in a situation where they're all the way to the cruise terminal and have to turn around and go home. The fees for terminal-based testing start at $99 per person. Royal is charging $105 for sailings from Miami and Port Canaveral, according to a Cruise Critic message board member. The cost for the same test in Cape Liberty, New Jersey is $150. So like I always say, when we hear news like this coming out that people are struggling to get their testing in and that the costs are going higher and higher, it just makes sense that you order ahead of time these Abbott BinaxNOW home test kits. I don't make any money off of this if you use the links that I put in my videos to order test kits. I will put links in the description below so you can order these test kits. Yes, they're a little complicated. Yes, there may be a language barrier to deal with when you're taking the test, but it is definitely the best way to test for your cruise. And another thing I don't think I've made you aware of yet is that it's highly recommended you buy 2 test kits per person for your cruise, and that is because it is so easy to mess this up. There were literally 3 times in this morning's test that I could have either knocked this off on the ground, put too many drops in here, touched the wrong end of this swab, or who knows what could have gone wrong, and that chat agent that was working with me to administer this test would have said, throw it away, it's no longer good. And then what would I have done if I didn't have any more test kits? And that was my only one to rely on. I know a lot of the Midships family is super infatuated with Carnival's brand new ship, the Mardi Gras. But did you know that P&O Cruise Line over in the UK has a sister ship to Mardi Gras, plus another sister on the way? From worldofcruising.co.uk by Lucy Abbott. P&O Cruises first look at new retractable roof, Sky Dome, onboard Arvia. P&O Cruises' new Sky Dome has been unveiled in a video released by the cruise line. An amazing feature onboard new ship Arvia. The retractable roof has been designed to maximize time in the sunshine in the multiple warm climates Arvia will visit. The line will be commencing with a Caribbean maiden season next winter. The 5,200 passenger vessel will cruise from the home port of Barbados and Antigua from January to March of 2023. The Sky Dome originated aboard P&O Iona, which launched May of 2021. with Arvia set to feature the first version of the retractable Sky Dome. And here we have some of the renderings of this Sky Dome. This looks like it could be a total game changer for cruises, especially on those days that the weather just doesn't want to cooperate. Arvia's retractable roof is a relaxed pool environment during the daytime, being transformed by night into an entertainment hub. The entertainment will include live music, production shows, DJ sets, as well as blockbuster movies on the sea screen. The ship will feature a glamorous swim-up bar, meaning you'll never be without your favorite drink. Like sister ships Iona and Mardi Gras, Arvia will run off liquefied natural gas, the cleanest, most efficient ship fuel system yet. Okay, and here is what the Sky Dome will look like when it's fully retracted and open for you to catch that beautiful Caribbean sunshine. And now, honestly, this ship looks like a really good option for those wanting to sail on something a little bit different or more unique than traditional US-based cruise lines. And really, Antigua, it's not that far of a flight from the east coast of the United States, specifically down in Florida. You could be there in under 3 hours and experience a total different world of cruising. This looks like an absolutely viable option to cruise on in 2023. And I want to leave you today with a high note coming from cruise industry CEOs. We're going to look at it now from cruiseindustrynews.com. State of the cruise industry, top executives bullish on the future despite some constraints. Arnold Donald, the CEO of Carnival Corporation, described 2020 as a trying but inspiring time on Tuesday morning at the State of the Industry panel in Miami Beach. Donald says 2020 was transformative, and he now has his sights set fully on the recovery. In a quote from Donald, "We know where the road is headed, and the road is headed towards a very bright future. But the road does have potholes and detours along the way. It has been choppy and complicated. So it sounds like things may be looking up for cruising going forward. If you agree, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. And if you made it this far, why haven't you subscribed to the Midships channel? I'm looking at you. I see my analytics every single day, and I know exactly what percentage of you has not yet subscribed, and it is way too stinking high. So why don't you just hit that? You know you're going to come back for tomorrow's video anyways. You might as well let YouTube let you know when it's posted. I mean, that's how a friendship works, right? It's a two-way street. So thanks so much for stopping by today, and until next time, we'll see you on the Midships.